Bienvenidos a otro episodio más del PAI. Este es el episodio número 10. Felicidades por estar aquí. Los días miércoles, tal día como hoy, son los días de nivel avanzado. Yo hablo mucho más rápido. Y recuerda que el PAI, el podcast para aprender inglés, es un podcast que se usa para aprender inglés, lo acabo de decir, mientras vas conduciendo el trabajo o vienes de regreso, para cuando vas caminando con tu perro o vas caminando con tu gato. ¿Por qué estás caminando con tu gato? ¿Qué te pasa? O cuando estás limpiando la casa, que muy bien, ya era hora de que limpiaras la casa. 36 minutos de intro. Hoy es el día avanzado, así que hoy es puro inglés, tal vez un poco más complejo, un poquito más rápido. Let's talk. Hablemos, comencemos. About about today's subject, which is urban toll roads and sustainable mobility. Is redefining city life in Spain. So we have vocabulary for today is urban congestion, es congestión urbana, toll roads, que es peaje, public policy, que es política pública, traffic flow, es flujo de tráfico, y city infrastructure, que es infraestructura de la ciudad. Antes de comenzar, gracias por escuchar 1 minuto y 23 segundos de mi podcast. Suscríbete porque es tu obligación. Okay. What are urban toll roads and why are they being introduced? Urban toll roads are systems that require drivers to pay a fee in order to enter or circulate within a certain area of the city. Ahora, traditionally, tolls were associated with highways or long-distance travel. But in recent years, they have become a tool for managing traffic inside urban environments. Interesting. So now they're going to charge us to enter some parts of the city, which, of course, it has its benefits. And I mean, everybody's going to start protesting because in Spain, people pay a lot of taxes everywhere. Anyway, in Spain, the approval of the new sustainable mobility law has opened the door for local governments to introduce urban tolls as part of broader mobility strategies. The main objective is not simply to collect revenue, but to reduce urban congestion, improve air quality, again with the air quality, and encourage alternative forms of transport. Cities face increasing pressure from traffic density, pollution, and limited space. As populations grow and car ownership remains high, traditional road expansion becomes both financially and physically unsustainable. Urban tolls are designed to change behavior rather than infrastructure, discouraging unnecessary car usage in city centers and prioritizing more efficient mobility patterns. I think if you talk about the city center, or let's talk about Madrid because it's the only city I know, I could be mistaken, of course. I think there is very little unnecessary car usage in the center of Madrid, I think, because it's why would you grab your car if you can just like walk a couple of blocks? I don't know. I should have to be mistaken. Anyway, this approach reflects a shift in how mobility is understood, from an individual convenience to a collective challenge that requires coordinated policy responses. Okay, veamos la siguiente parte. Next part is sustainable mobility as public policy. In this part, we have some new vocabulary, which is sustainable mobility, que es movilidad sostenida o sustentable. Environmental impact es el impacto ambiental. Public Transport Network, que es la red de transporte público. Behavioral change, que es cambio de comportamiento. Y long-term planning, que es planeación, planeaje a largo plazo. Si llegaste hasta aquí, felicidades. Comenta city. Algo con city, lo que sea. Comenta. Es tu obligación. Llevas 5 minutos escuchando. En Spotify también se puede comentar. Entonces comenta algo y así yo me doy cuenta de que llegaste hasta aquí. Felicidades. Part 2 of this podcast is sustainable mobility as public policy. Sustainable mobility policies aim to balance accessibility, efficiency, and environmental responsibility. Rather than focusing exclusively on cars, these policies promote public transport, cycling, walking, and shared mobility systems. Urban tolls function as one element within a larger policy framework. From a public policy perspective, tolls create economic signals that influence daily decisions. When driving becomes more expensive in congested areas, people are more likely to reconsider their transport choices. Over time, this can lead to reduced emissions, lower noise pollution, and improved public spaces. El Bernabéu de igual manera tendrá una cantidad de noise pollution que flipas. Sin embargo, these policies are not without controversy. Of course, it's the Spanish government. Critics argue that urban tolls may disproportionately affect lower-income households who rely on cars due to limited public transport options. Supporters respond that revenue from tolls can be reinvested into public transport networks, making cities more accessible in the long term. I remember that I had to go from where I lived to where I worked, and it was horribly connected by public transport when I didn't have a car, and it took me around 2 hours to get to my job, which was awful, the worst. Anyway, the success of sustainable mobility policies depend largely on planning, transparency, and public trust without reliable alternative to private cars. Toll systems risk being perceived as punitive rather than transformative. Yes, because it's going to feel, of course, as a punishment because it's gonna come from the pocket of the people. But again, it could also be about unnecessary car usage. We'll see. On part 3, we have economic, social, and global perspective. And we have also new vocabulary. We have household economy, que es economía familiar. Social inequality es inequidad social. Cost of living, que es el coste de la vida. Policy trade-off son intercambios de políticas. Y international precedent, que es un precedente internacional. Si es un tema que te hace pensar o te estás enfadando un poco mientras me escuchas, suscríbete. Y yo me daré cuenta. Y yo mismo le diré a Pedro Sánchez. Yo iré directamente hacia él. Mira, este man se suscribió, esta persona se suscribió. Opinión. Eso. Let's see part 3, last part of today's podcast. Today is going to be a short one. Economic, social, and global perspective. Urban mobility policies have direct consequences on household economies. For some families, daily commuting costs may increase, forcing adjustments in budgets and routines. These changes can influence where people choose to live, work, and spend their time. If your job doesn't 100% require you to be there, all of us should freaking start having more time of home office or going 100% remote work. That's should be one of the first solutions we should add, because a lot of people have to travel to work unnecessarily to be in front of a computer. We all have spaces, well, most of us have spaces in our houses to be in front of our computer and working. So it really shouldn't matter if people go to their office or not. Even when some people have office jobs and their meetings are on the computer. Why are they in the offices? Why? Anyways, let's continue. At the same time, urban tolls can generate broader social benefits. Reduced traffic can lead to cleaner air, safer streets, and more livable urban spaces. These benefits, while less visible in the short term, can improve public health and overall quality of life. Spain is not alone in exploring these measures. Cities such as London, Stockholm, and Singapore have implemented similar systems with varying degrees of success. These international precedents show that while resistance is common at first, of course there's going to be resistance, public acceptance often grows once the benefit becomes tangible. Ya veremos. Ultimately, urban tolls reflect a deeper question about how cities should function in the future. They force societies to confront trade-offs between convenience, sustainability, and equity. As urban population continue to grow, mobility policy will remain a defining issue in shaping modern city life. Y con la salida del sol, estoy ciego, we finish today's podcast. So please put in the comment if you have remote work or you want to have remote work, and how is traffic in your city. Do you think intercity or inner city traffic tolls could change traffic flow in your city? If you ask me personally, Madrid, I don't think so. It's not going to matter. It's not going to change anything. People have their cars because that's the only way they have to move to certain or from certain places to other places or to work. So I don't think that's 100% the solution. Could be one for unnecessary car usage, but a lot of people or most people in Madrid, they use their cars because they have to. So we'll see. That's it for The PAI, el podcast para aprender inglés, episodio número 10. La próxima ya será el lunes. Los amo a todos por igual. Recuerda que el lunes es el día de principiantes otra vez. Los amo a todos por igual. No tengo favoritos.